This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. We are here in the serene environs of the L'Hôtel de la Cité in Carcassonne, France. And I'm here with none other than wine communicator, wine educator, wine writer, and map maker, Quentin Sadler. How are you today, sir?
I am extremely well, thank you, Jamie.
Superb. Now, you're joining us all the way from London. You've been tasting for a week now. In Carcassonne, we've been tasting the wines of the Languedoc. What have you learned from your days here?
What I've learned is that even more than I was aware of, the variety is incredible. The Languedoc is not really a cohesive whole. It's made up of this mosaic of smaller sub-regions, all with their own traditions and styles. A lot of the reds are made from a similar palette of grape varieties, but the individual blends vary. And of course, the climatic conditions in each of these subzones is subtly different. The altitudes are very different, and the soils, what the French call the terroir, is very different from place to place as well. So all of that gives us an incredible array of wines to choose from.
Now, how are the wines of the Languedoc perceived and received in the United Kingdom these days?
Well, in two distinct ways, really. There is the great mass of Languedoc wine, Vin de Pays Doc, IGP Doc, whatever you want to call it nowadays, usually sold with a varietal on the label. That's where most straightforward wine consumers would know the Languedoc from, and they would associate it with approachable, affordable, well-made wines. The other way that Languedoc is becoming increasingly well-known in the UK to general drinkers, I'm not talking about aficionados here, is like the wine that's actually in the glass in front of me. This is a Picpoul de Pinet, which is a subzone of the Languedoc appellation near the coast, and they make one of the principal white wines of this area, which has long been associated with red wines more than anything else. And Picpoul in recent years has really got traction in the UK market as a popular wine, a new grape variety for people to add to their sadly too small palette of grape varieties that they drink from. So there is some following for some really top producers, principally of red wines so far, although hopefully some of the really top whites will start emerging properly into the UK market as well. But wines like the Languedoc terroirs, places like Pic Saint-Loup, you can find those readily available. Corbière, some of the Côte de Roussillons, for instance. Cabadès as well, the region that blends Atlantic grape varieties with Mediterranean. You can see those a little, and they appeal to more sort of wine-aware people who want something more interesting, more specific, a little finer. Also, it has to be said that some of the big producers of the region do really help with awareness. Gérard Bertrand's wines are widely available, and he produces very well-made examples right from the bottom to the top of the quality pyramid, and so he can educate consumers if they get used to his brand and the quality that his name on the label implies to reach a lot of good. Domaine Pour Masse as well have wines that sell at a big array of price points from this region, which make UK consumers very comfortable with them. There's a lot here.
Now, we were informed the other day about some of the changes to the, appellation regulations and labelling. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not French, so I don't necessarily regard it as useful for the UK consumers to create crus. I'm not sure a cru has any real meaning to most UK wine consumers. But I am all for wines being from specific places, explaining what the differences are and the terroirs. So in that respect, it can be seen as a good thing if those individual subzones of the Languedoc are going to appear on the label and the styles they make are going to be clear and explicit to consumers. I'm all for that.
Now, is there anything that has been particularly exciting you while you've been here?
Yes, a couple of things. I've been very excited to renew my acquaintance with two, I think, excellent appellations of this region. Perhaps slightly ignored as far as the UK market is concerned, anyway, which is Cabadès, which I mentioned a few minutes ago.
And that's not too far from here.
Not too far,
That's,
just outside Carcassonne on the Montagne Noire.
Yes.
It's a small appellation. But luckily they've got this sort of powerhouse producer called Château de Penautier, which has got this sort of Versailles-sized property. They dominate the production of the zone, but I think they make really lovely wines. I've been delighted to taste a wide array of them here and was very impressed. The other place that I like from down here a lot, and again I'm glad to see that my expectations have been met, is Minervois-la-Livinière, which is a subzone or a cru in French parlance of Minervois, which is a bigger area, and Minervois-la-Livinière is a higher area with limestone soils that can produce very intense wines, and I was able to taste an array of those, and there were some very impressive wines there. The same with another favourite of mine, Pic Saint-Loup, which is currently listed as a terroir of Languedoc, but they're hoping that it will become a cru one day soon. I'm not sure that will make a big difference.
Just more confusion for everyone.
More confusion for everyone, unless you're French. But they are good wines, which is in the end what really matters.
Well, Quentin, thank you very much for raising a glass with us in Carcassonne. It's been a pleasure meeting you, and we look forward to catching up soon.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Bye for now.